Good evening and welcome to the 2020 Parkway Swim Club IMX swim meet, the first swim meet of the year for most of these youngsters. And we get set for session number 2. We had a very fast and very efficient session number 1 earlier this evening. We saw a number of significant drops in time, and now the next set of youngsters gets ready to go at it once again. In this session, we will do events number 7 through 12, starting off with the 100-yard IM, 50-yard freestyle, 50-yard backstroke, 50-yard breaststroke, 50-yard butterfly, 100 freestyle. Will wind things up. As we get set to go, we want to welcome you here to our broadcast tonight. My name is Matt Judkins, happy to bring you the action here from Parkway North High School. And we want to give a quick shout out to Kevin Girth. He's the producer for tonight's event, and he is providing the excellent video footage and allowing us to bring these pictures right into your living room, your car, wherever you may be, on your mobile device, television, computer, whatever. Bringing it to you live right here from Parkway North High School. We get set for event number 1 here. It's actually event number 7 on your session sheet. It's the 12 and under 100-yard IM. This is a 6-lane pool for those of you who have not tuned in yet, and it is numbered from 1 through 6. Top of your screen is lane number 1. Bottom of your screen is lane number 6. The swimmers will start to your left at the starting blocks, go from left to right, and then circle back to this end of the pool. So everything will be at least a 50-yard event or a 100-yard event here in this session number 2. In this first event, we'll have 4. Actually, it looks like we're going to add in a 5th competitor. We'll have at least 4 that are on the sheet here. A couple of the competitors here in this second session. We're here for the earlier session, parsing out their events over the course of 2 different time frames so that they maybe get a little rest. These events can come quickly and often for these youngsters. So we are just about set to go. Final instructions being given by our marshal, Blair Porter, on the far side. He's given the final instructions, and I want to give a little quick shout out to all the coaches who are here tonight. Of course, head coach John David Williford. And we've got the group select coach Chris Etherington here this evening, along with Keenan Quigley, his assistant Cade Cross, who's also a swimmer on the Parkway Club in the national group, and Gavin Hager, who they coach the blue groups. Other side, MJ Wohler and Ethan Goldfarb, they're the senior coaches. As well, we get set to go. Mike Favazza is our head official here tonight. He shouts out the instructions. We are ready to go. In lane number 2, it'll be Laird, Hager in 3, Alcott in 4, and Opal in 5. So that's young George. Lane number 1. So quickly here. They're out of the pool in this 100-yard IM, It will go fly, back, breast, free. First one to the wall will be Opal. He quickly gets there in lane number 5. He's the first to touch, under 16 seconds. Get out now with the backstroke again. Each stroke will go 1 length of the pool. And he gets inside the flags now, goes into touch on that backstroke, looks for the wall. He gets it 37-19. He's the first one in. George is the second one in. Third here on this one, and lane number 4 is Alcott, followed by Laird and then Hager. These age groups here in this one, Grace Hager, she's on the young end at 9 years old, 10 for Opal, 11 for Alcott, Laird is 12, George is 12. Other side now, they'll go the other way. Into the final home stretch now with the freestyle. George really picked up some breaststroke there on the far side. Well, now he's going to be the first one halfway home in the pool. Under the flag he goes. Looks like he's going to establish a very good opening time. He did not have an establishment in 1:21.86 for that young man. Some other good times as well. 1:27.85 for Alcott. In there, Grace Hager at 1:31.47. Nice drop for her. Johnny Laird. 1:34.49, and George, it is 1:26.09. So that'll end our first heat. And we got 3 heats here in this first event. Top to bottom of your screen, lane 1 to 6 is Take, Vogler, Herzl, CV, Thurston, and Borgmeyer in the near lane. Typically the way this works, for those of you who are not familiar with the way a swim event works, the swimmers with the fastest time coming to the event will be in the middle of the pool, lanes 3 and 4. And then they'll section them out across alternating lanes into 2 and 5 and then 1 and 6. Other way now, first one to the wall in that butterfly was Hertzler. She comes in with an established time of 1:29.28. Up to her now. In lane number 5 is Thurston. She's going to be first to the wall in the backstroke. They'll go to the breaststroke. We talked about this in the earlier broadcast. When you get into this IM, some swimmers are very strong in the fly, maybe very strong in the backstroke, some exceptionally strong in the breaststroke. It all depends on their favorite strokes, what they like to do, what they're proficient at doing, and how they're going to build it out. Far into the pool now, they'll breaststroke it as they touch the side. They'll come back one last length into the freestyle. And Thurston, she's just ahead of the rest of the pack. Hertzler in lane 3, CV in lane 4. Those three will battle it, but it's going to look like Thurston, Laura Thurston, first one to the wall here in this one. She's going to go under 125. It looks like she does. 122, 63, 24, and 25. Hertzler and Thurston. And rounding things out, Take, Vogel, and Borgmeyer. So nice swims there. We'll get into time standards as much as we can. Talk a little bit about those as we move on here this evening. But nice swim there for Thurston. And she came in quickly. Referees are all set to go after that heat. And now we'll go into heat number 3, the final heat of this first event. Kennedy Johnson in lane number 1. We saw her session compete in the 200 free. Peyton in lane 2. Sydney Matheny in lane 3. Leah Bosch in 4. Mason in 5. And the Blue Groupers coached here by both Keenan Quigley and Gavin Hager. First one out of the chute quickly. Sydney Matheny very strong in lane number 3 in that fly. She'll hit the backstroke. She'll go the other way. Second to the wall. Kind of a tie there between DeBosch and Robick. Mollering also very strong. Top of your screen, Kennedy Johnson and then Riley Moran coming close here in lane number 6. But Matheny really stretching things out now. The 12-year-old in lane number 3. She touches the wall. She'll go back the other way in the breaststroke. And she's very good at this stroke. About a body length ahead of DeBosch here in lane 4, then Robick in lane 3, Kennedy Johnson in lane number 1, Mollering and Moran down here in lane number 5 and 6, just 10 years old. So Matheny quickly to the wall. Now she's going to have the freestyle. She comes back in under 53 seconds on that first part, looking to go under 111. She's got optimal chance of doing that. DeBosch also looking to go under 115. Looks like Matheny's going to beat her best. She's strong to the wall. Gets in there. 108.62. Nice swim for her. Following in right behind her was Leah DeBosch at 113.5. She drops a couple of seconds off her best time. Third in the heat is Robick at 117.92. Right near her previous time. And then rounded out by Johnson at 120.89 in a drop of nearly 3 seconds for her. Mollering at 123.36. He right on his time, as well as Moran, who drops nearly 4 seconds in her time at her Second place in the heat was Leah DeBosch at 113. She's still just 10 years old, and on that 100 IM, that is just under the wire, and she gets a AAA, so she's our first AAA of the season here and this meet for Parkway, so way to go. AAA time standard in the 100 yard individual medley, 113.49, and so that young lady beats that by 2.4 seconds, almost a quarter of a second. Congratulations to her. She'll be the first Parkway swimmer here of this IMX meet here, weekend number 2, to get that time standard. And of course, as almost on cue, we're gonna have our first guest of the weekend here, and it just happens to be the new AAA swimmer, Leah DeBosch, and her father, Dr. Brian DeBosch. But we wanted to bring Brian on board here this evening to talk about a special endeavor that the Parkway program is looking to undertake. And Brian, over the course of the last several years, there's been oftentimes the need for a longer, bigger pool during the long course season, and it's my understanding that Parkway is now exploring the possibility of maybe looking into constructing one of those pools.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on, giving us a chance to really get the word out there regarding a new initiative that we're really interested in taking on. So as you may have seen, we recently put out a survey just exploring interest in building a pool for the Parkway Swim Club, perhaps with or without shared usage from the community, from surrounding colleges, universities, and of course from the school district. What you'll see is that we'll present the data in just a little bit, but the summary is that overwhelmingly there seemed to be support for building a pool. Our next steps are to determine feasibility from the school board and perhaps garner more support. So I just wanted to put the word out there for everybody to keep their ear to the ground for various fundraising efforts, for community support, and just get behind us as much as you can as we bring this to the board.
And no real information beyond that out yet, Brian, but as things become available, you talked about data and things like that, there'll probably be an area where people with questions can actually send in things like that down the road. But any other final thoughts on that pool endeavor before you go back out and help out with the swim meet?
Absolutely. So just one other thing, if you have any questions or comments, please email or call anyone on the board. Or if you'd like to, or if you're interested, even if you're not committed, if you're interested in participating on one of the planning committees for the pool, please give me an email. We'd love to have you and your effort and your energy. Thanks.
Thanks, Doc, and we appreciate all the information, and congratulations to your daughter, AAA time by a quarter of a second in her first event tonight. So looks like you got to pack up for zones late next summer, so get ready for that. Make your hotel reservations now. We're going to keep our fingers crossed that those meets go off as planned. So we want to thank Dr. Brian DeBosch. He's one of the many Parkway volunteers that's helping out with this endeavor. And hopefully, if all goes well, you'll look at constructing that new pool sometime here in the near future. But congratulations to that. We'll get some more updates on some of those other time standards here as we go before we get into event number 2. This is a 50-yard freestyle. So this first heat will have just 3 swimmers: Phoebe Alcott, Lana Thurston, and Willa Shank. They will be the 3 competing in this first one. We'll get to those lane assignments in just a moment. So it looks like we're going to have a little shuffling. So we'll have a little shuffle once again. George will swim in. He's going to be in one of the lanes. Looks like he's been a late entry. Here comes Willa. We're waiting for her. She must have took a break real quick. Away from it now. We want to remind you, if you're a parent out there, you're a grandparent, you're out there listening, you can send me some info on your child that is swimming tonight, or children. Text me at 314-369-3289. Send me a tidbit or two about your child, something that's kind of fun. You know, likes to build rockets or participates in football or whatever that might be. Let me know what group they swim in, who their coach is, their favorite stroke, etc. So once again, it's Alcott, Thurston, Shank, and George here in lane number 5. And this will be just a 50 freestyle, down and back. This is a very fast race. Fastest race in all of swimming. 100-meter dash. This is the equivalent to that. quickest time coming into this session, 37:02. Just an 11-year-old is young Lana. Change his whip. Maybe Alcott, 37.9. Looks like George going to be first one to the wall. He'll touch this inside of 33:31. Nice swim for him. Everyone else very fast as well. They all beat their previous times. 34:04, 34:48, and 36:30 respectively. So nice times for those youngsters. As they'll jump out of the pool. We'll get set for heat number 2. Heat number 2, we're going to have 5 heat. Starting from top of your screen to the bottom, lane number 1 will be Vogler, CV in lane 2, Schindler in lane 3, Hume in lane 4, and Grace Hager in lane number 5, the young 9-year-old. Fast time, 30:41. That's Vienna Schindler. She's a 12-year-old along with Hume. 11 years old for Vogler in lane 1, 10-year-old in lane 2, and Grace Hager in lane number 5. Just a 9-year-old. Quick turn on the other side. Now they're quickly back the other way. Again, these 53s, they take no time ever. She's going to one to the wall. We're going to come right down to it. It's Schindler and Hume, right in there. And it'll be Schindler who out-touches her with a time of 32:58, just off of her best time. So everybody's going to hop out. Or excuse me, I'm sorry. Yeah, 29:11 now. I got that wrong, so my apologies. But very fast swim, 29:42. So both of those young ladies actually dropped significant time. Nearly everybody in this event dropping a little bit of time. So good for those youngsters as we get set now for the final heat. This one will be a fast one. It'll be Riley Moran in lane 1, Lillian Driscoll in lane 2, Sydney Matheny in lane 3, Hannah Moran in lane 4, Cecilia Hoganson in 5, and Cora Donaldson in lane 6. Fast right out of the block. Right now, lane 4, it is Moran. Lane number 3, it's Matheny. They're going to do battle. Connor just 11, Matheny just 12. Looks like Matheny's got him just slightly now. Moran looks to kind of pace her out here just a little bit. He was the fastest coming in, or just short, the fastest. Both of them very close. Connor Moran to the wall, 26:87. 26:87 for that young man as a second improvement for him. Matheny also a drop at 27:37. She was at 27:77 coming in, so good swim all the way around for those two, rounding it out. After that, third to the wall was Hoganson at 28. Second and a half for her off of her previous time, and then in fourth place in the heat, Lily at 29.86. She comes out at 28.85, so she drops time. 30.93 for Riley Moran, a drop of nearly 2 seconds, and Cora Donaldson, 30.61. She was in fifth place. She dropped over a second. So we'll check this out real quick as we take a break. We're going to take a break now as we let the kids get ready for their next event. We'll come back on the other side of this one. You are watching the Parkway IMX swim meet right here on the Parkway Swim Club YouTube channel. Are you ready? Welcome back to the 2020 Parkway IMX swim meet. My name is Matt Judkins. I'm bringing you tonight's action, as we'll be with you all weekend long. We want to give a special shout out to Kevin Girth. It is through his technology and the donation of his time that this production is coming off without a hitch. You see those great clear pictures, the 3-camera setup, which is state of the art for any type of swim meet. So thank you to him for allowing all the parents, grandparents, and whoever may be out there watching this evening for bringing this broadcast. Of course, I want to bring a quick update back on that 50 freestyle. A number of time standards achieved, including Sydney Matheny with a AA time as a 12-year-old. She has 2 AAs now in the IM and in the freestyle. So congratulations to that young lady, and we'll continue to bring you more throughout the evening as we go. And Riley Moran just missing that AA time as well, just a 10-year-old. Solid A time, number of A times, a lot of improvement there in their times. Next stroke up here for these youngsters, we'll go to event number 9, which is event number 3 here in session number 2, and this is the 50-yard backstroke. This will be the first event here in this one. Looks like we will actually have an additional swimmer. It might be George Baisley, I think, up there at the top of your screen again. Top of the screen is lane number 1. Bottom of the screen is lane number 6. We've got 5 swimmers here. That is George in lane number 1. We give a shout out to his father, always through my 5+ years here in the Parkway program. His daughter Mary used to swim with my older son, and so we've known them for a long time, and the family as well. As a soccer family, really, that's their primary sport. As we've got a nice quick lead here by Caleb Opal. He had a really nice swim way back in that early IM, and of course, hello to John and Denzel Opal, and this young man loves the fly, but he's doing well in the backstroke, and sometimes those go hand in hand. He's going to come in underside, 40 seconds, gets to the wall, 37:46. He did not have a time coming in. Next one up on that one, 39:72, right in the middle of the pool was Take. Grace Hager coming in 3rd place in the heat. 4th place in the heat was Johnny Laird, and then George Baisley rounding things out. So that'll do things here in this first event. Nice swim all the way around. We'll get into heat number 2. There'll be 3 heats here in this event. Top to bottom of your screen, it'll be Vogler, Borgmeyer, Seavey, Mason Mollering, Leila Herzl, and Alana Thurston. That'll round things out in lane number 6. These are all 10 and 11-year-olds here in this one. As they get set, it'll be 1 length down and 1 length back, coming back the other way. Here we go. Swimmers dive back in. Past the flags as they get to mid-pool. Down here in lane number 6, Thurston, and Thurston seems to be stretching things out a little bit. He won't be the first one to the wall. That'll go back to the middle of the pool. Seavey and Mollering now. Seavey really strong there in lane number 3. Harry Seavey, just 10 years old. 40:63 is his preliminary time coming in. He's got a little battle for the 2nd place in the heat, but they're really coming right down to it. All 4 swimmers now down to the wall. It looks like Seavey will be the first to touch, then Mollering, followed right there by Herzl and Thurston. Coming in next, Borgmeyer, and then Vogler as they all popped in. Nice times there. Everybody seems to have dropped just a little bit of time off their previous, with the exception of Vogler. So nice swim, and maybe Borgmeyer right on her time, but nice drop all the way around. Under 40 for the first 4 swimmers. Previous best time was 40:63 coming in. Congratulations to those youngsters. And now we'll go in for heat number 3. Riley Moran in lane 1, Kennedy Johnson in lane number 2, Leah DeBosch in lane number 3. She got her AAA earlier in that first event. The IM, Cora Donaldson in 4, Vienna Schindler in lane 5, and Peyton Robick in lane 6. Shout out to parents Vicky and Corey, and of course her brothers Colby and Parker also swim for the Parkway Club. First one now looks like they're going to touch the wall. Lane number 4, it'll be Cora Donaldson. She and DeBosch come in with the 2 fastest times. Donaldson, her preliminary time, 36:31. DeBosch, 34:87. But really now it's in lane number 5. It's Vienna Schindler, but it's DeBosch and Schindler. DeBosch and Schindler as they get to the flag. Schindler just slightly ahead of young Leah. They're going to get to the wall. First one in, and it looks like it's going to be Schindler. Schindler gets the heat at 33.97, just followed by DeBosch at 34.13. Both of them improving on their previous times. Third place in that heat at 35.76, of course, was Donaldson. A nice drop for her. We're going to have a quick 5-minute break. We'll tally up this. We'll see if anybody got any more of those qualifying times. We'll take a break. We'll be back in just a few moments. You're watching the Parkway IMX Swim Meet on the Parkway YouTube network.
All right.
That whistle means we are back here at the 2020 edition of the Parkway IMX Swim Meet. Swim Meet this week. The age group select group and the senior one group. Most of these kids here this evening all in AGS and blue. So a couple of time standards achieved in that last event. So we go back to the 50-yard backstroke. Leah DeBosch gets a double A in that 50-yard backstroke. An A time for Peyton Robick. A couple of BB times for Riley Moran, Deanna Schindler, and B times achieved for Kennedy Johnson and Cora Donaldson. Congratulations to all those young ladies on those great achievements. We'll now move to the 50-yard breaststroke. We'll have 2 heats here. In this first event, it will be Take, Shank, Hager, Alcott, and Thurston, and then Baisley in lane 6. Fastest time coming into this one, 48:46 on the dot, Alcott, Phoebe Alcott, and Grace Hager. And they will be in lanes number 3 and 4, respectively. Coming in. All the timers are back. Officials have looked things over, and we are ready to go. 50-yard breaststroke. And here we go. All 6 swimmers. First one up out of the water down here in lane number 5 is Alana Thurston. She's a little bit ahead of all the other ones, of course. These youngsters trying to get their best times. There's been one of the 11-year-old 16-3 coming in. She's going to shatter that. Just quickly out to the lane. Coach is shouting out their instructions, trying to make sure the technique is proper. That is very key in this breaststroke event. The technique is so important as you look at young George Baisley gets to the wall just behind Thurston, 42.89, as she drops significant time. 13.5 seconds for that young lady. A lot of good times in there. Coming in 3rd place in the heat was Alcott, followed by Hager. Both with good times there. Slight drop for Alcott. Hager right on her time, and then Shank and Take with drops as well. Here we go into heat number 2. It's Hertzler, Hoganson, Connor Moran, Peyton Robick, Hume, and Borgmeyer. And Hume, we want to say hello to their parents, Dan and Jill. She goes to middle school in 6th grade. We got a little note from them. She likes to play volleyball, do TikToks, and horseback riding. Her favorite is the free. We'll see how she does. We'll get some words out there about the rest of these youngsters here in just a moment. Connor Moran takes stretch out of about a body length. He's in lane number 3, the 11-year-old 6th grader from stretching out here. Good at St. Louis University. Jesuit 71. Under his previous time of 35:15. Good all the way around. Good drops. Lane number 1, Hertzler drops over 2 seconds for her. Hoganson right on her time, just slightly past it. Slightly past it as well for Peyton Robick at 38:75. Right on the time again for Danny Hume at just over 42. Just slightly over for Esther at 48:13. So good swim that time, but it out all the way, dropping half a second in that one. If you look at that, those new time standards, which just came out, they'll be posted on the Parkway website here probably in the next couple of days. But that 34:71, just shy of the AA time for young Connor, so he gets that A standard. Good for him. We're going to take another quick break here. Now this time we've got to notice the pattern. After one event, 5-minute break. After 2 events, a 10-minute break. So that'll cycle through. We'll come through the last 2 events. That'll be the 50-yard butterfly and then the 100-yard freestyle. We are going to take another break. When we come back, we'll have some more great action here from the Parkway IMX meet. Here on the Parkway YouTube channel. back to the 2020 Parkway IMX swim meet here from Parkway North High School. My name is Matt Judkins. I'm happy to bring you this action. Tonight's event's being produced by Kevin Girth. We want to thank him for all the hard work, the multi-camera setup, and all the great equipment that he's brought here on property tonight to make sure that everyone out there who's viewing can view it. Let me send you a quick little note. If you are at home watching or somewhere on the road watching, you want to send us a little note about your child that's swimming here this evening, please do. My phone number, 314-369-3289. You can text me at that number. Let me know your name, your child's name, and then a little tidbit about them, where they go to school, who they swim with and for, what they like, etc. And we'll be trying to mention that on the air here this evening. We get set now for event number 11 on the evening. This is the second last event of the night. And this will be the 50-yard butterfly. Very tough stroke, especially for some of these youngsters. Top to bottom of your screen, lane 1 to 6, Hager, Vogler, Hume, Hertzler, Laird, and Opal. So we'll see what they do. Opal, no time previously. We've seen him turn in some very fast times earlier here for the Parkway program. Lane number 1, Grace Hager, of course, her older brother Gavin, one of the blue group coaches, and we want to give him a special shout out and congratulations. He recently got engaged and will be married. So good for him, one of the longtime coaches of Parkway, one of our favorites. She comes out of lane number 1. Brenna Vogler, she goes to Parkway West Middle School, and Father Kirk gave us a nice little bit of info about her right out of the chute now. Danny Hume, she's in lane number 3, comes in at 40.61, a very fast time for a 12-year-old. She touches the wall first, she's going back the other way. Right behind her, second to the wall is Hertzler, followed by Opal. And now Opal taking over. Look like Opal's going to try and take the cake here down to the end. Laird coming in as well, along with Vogler and Hager. Battling to the end right now. Who's going to get it inside the flags? Who's going to touch first? Right down to the wire. And it looks like it's going to be lane number 3, Danny Hume, followed by Caleb Opal, quickly behind them, dropping almost 10 seconds. Dropping almost 3 seconds. Hertzler. So very fast there. And then first place, 35.63 out of lane number 3 was Hume. Rounding things out, Hager and Vogler both dropping significant time, as well as Laird dropping a few seconds. Now we're into heat number 2. And this one is Take in lane 1, Borgmeyer in lane 2, Driscoll in lane 3, Mollering in lane 4, Seavey in lane 5, and Willis Shank in lane 6. Of course, her father, one of the officials tonight, and she's got other siblings that also compete for the Parkway program. Quickly to the wall, the first one, Lillian Driscoll, 34.80, a very fast preliminary time for her. We'll give a little shout out to Esther Borgmeyer. She loves to fly in the breaststroke. She's in lane number 2 now. We want to thank her mom and dad for providing Hannah and Josh. She's 5th grader at Westchester and Kirkwood. Loves ballet and basketball. Quickly to the wall. The first one there is Driscoll, and Driscoll 33.33. She shaves some time off, followed right in behind her by Mason Mollering at 36.38. And so that's a very fast time for him, dropping almost a full second. Rounding things out, Take and Borgmeyer, followed by Shank and Seavey. And of course, Mason Mollering is son of Molly and Matt, a couple of fellow Truman State alums, as I am as well. And of course, they're both educators. Matt in the Hazelwood School District, a special school district, and Molly in the Francis Howell School District. And this young man, we've seen him on the basketball court, loves the breaststroke. So sometimes the breaststroke and the butterfly don't go hand in hand, but he just had a very nice swim there and dropped some time. So nice meet for that young man. And now it looks like we're going to have a heat number 3 for George Baisley. Again, George primarily a soccer player, late entry into the evening. He jumps into the pool now. Oh, they didn't blow the whistle yet. Of course, we want to thank all the parents for riding in along this network, and we know they much rather be here, but I will tell you, You're probably a little cooler wherever you're at. It is very humid and warm on this 80-plus degree day here. Parkway North pool, really no circulation. So I may get the advantage of losing a few pounds from sweating, but that would be about the extent of it. So hopefully you're enjoying the very nice evening air here in the St. Louis area. Very nice evening for what now we get to close to mid-October, George, now to the end of the pool. No preliminary time or previous time. And a couple more shout-outs we'd like to give. Deanna Schindler, she'll be coming up in event number 12, and her mother writes in and says how much she really enjoys loves swimming, and so she'll be competing in that 100-yard freestyle. So hello to her. We want to thank her for sending us a note as well. And Deanna Schindler, she loves swimming. She likes baking sweets from her grandma, and I can't blame it. Any kid and adult, if you're me, loves the same things. And so we want to say thank you to Deanna's mother and her grandmother for writing in, and they easily follow that number, 314-369-3289. If you're going to be with us the rest of the weekend, you can text in as well. If there's anything else, tell your friends. If you got friends whose kids are competing over the next couple of days, pass that number along to them. It'd be great to get information prior to showing up at the pool. We can write them down. It'd be a little easier to work them in. And with the number of years we've been in the program, my family, we have gotten to know a lot of the people in the Parkway program. My 2 children compete at the national level and at the blue group level, and so we will see my daughter Anna later in the weekend. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have the final segment here on the Parkway YouTube channel. Welcome back to the 2020 Parkway IMX. We are just about to complete night number 1 of this 3-day event, and we will round things out here with a 100-yard freestyle. There'll be 2 heats in this 100-yard freestyle, so get ready, folks. These will go very fast. We've had a fast evening all the way around. We get ready to go here once again. They're lining them up on the far side. My name is Matt Judkins. I've brought you the action all evening long. Production provided by Kevin Girth. We want to thank him. We want to thank all the parents who volunteered to do the timing. We've got the officials here tonight and all the Parkway coaches. They're now on tap. We've noticed that longtime Parkway coach Tom Bick is now coming as well, so he's helping out just a little bit. As the swimmers hustle to get back into place. First heat, lanes 1 through 6, top to bottom of the screen. Thurston, Alcott, Seavey, Donaldson, Vogler, and Borgmeyer. Top preliminary time coming to this one, 1:17:44 from Harry Seavey. We're all set to go. All the swimmers are behind the block. Referee blows it in. Official Mike Favazza shouts it out, and we are just about set to go again. It'll be Thurston, Alcott, Seavey, Donaldson, Vogler, and Borgmeyer. That's lane 1 through 6, top to bottom of the screen. Quick stretch out, middle of the pool, lane number 4. That's Cora Donaldson. This is a 100-yard freestyle. Down and back, down and back. A little bit of pacing yourself has to happen in this event. You don't want to go all out straight through. It can be a little bit difficult for these youngsters to sometimes figure out that pace. Some go out very quickly, some hold back until the end, but right now it's Donaldson who's very strong, full length ahead in the middle of the pool. She gets to the flag at the 50-yard mark. She'll touch the wall first on the flip turn, comes in at 33.71. That should be well ahead of her previous time of 1:18.10. CV also very fast, 36.16. He came in at 1:17.44, the two fastest, but right now, Donaldson, the 12-year-old, stretching it out. Continue to work through it. Halfway home now in this final lap. It'll be Donaldson, followed by Seavey. Right in behind them in lane number 1, it's Thurston, Alcott, and Vogler about even, and then Esther Borgmeyer down here into the wall, 1:11.88. That'll be a new best time for her and a new best time as well for Seavey. Followed in there, that time by Vogler, also dropping time, almost 5 seconds. Thurston, 5 seconds also off of her best time. Phoebe Alcott, she bested her time by 3 seconds, and in lane 6, Borgmeyer also 3 seconds for a total all drop all the way around. Congratulations for those youngsters. Top of the screen now is Schindler, Hoganson, Moran, Connor Moran, Sydney Matheny, Riley Moran, Lillian Driscoll. We want to give a shout out to Aunt Emily, who's listening down in Florida. She's the aunt of both Connor and Riley Moran, so we want to say hello to her. Thanks for tuning in here this evening. We hope you've enjoyed the action. This will be the last event. We're coming down to just about the last lap. Right now, it's Moran and Matheny in the middle of the pool. Lanes 3 and 4, these two going at it. Connor Moran first to the wall. Matheny just right in behind him. Less than a half a second away. Coming in, third place right behind them, Hoganson. Fourth place is Schindler. Fifth, Driscoll, and then Riley Moran, the young 10-year-old, really playing up a year almost or two in this heat. It's Connor Moran now halfway to the pool. He's opened up just a little bit of lead, but Matheny starting to close a little bit. Does she have enough pool left to get him? Into the wall, and it's going to be Moran. Moran will hit it. 59.15 for Connor Moran, just slightly off of his best time. Sidney Matheny comes in at 1 minute. .10, and that'll improve her by an entire second, which is a lifetime in the 100-yard free. Third place in that heat is Schindler, 105.35 for her, 106.72 and 106.44 respectively for Driscoll and Hoganson, coming in fifth and fourth place, and then young Riley Moran at 109.37 gets an improvement on her time. And of course, Riley, just a 9-year-old in that one, just off the A time, or excuse me, just under the A time, so she clears that by a full second for that young lady. Other side, let's look at some of these other ones. Connor Moran just off of the double A time, well within the single A time. And on the other side, Sidney Matheny comes in at the double A time for her as well. So congratulations to those youngsters. Well, that just about wraps things up here for us on night number 1 of the 2020 Parkway IMX. This is the version with the Blue Group, AGS Group, and Senior 1 groups. We hope you've enjoyed it. For our producer, Kevin Girth, my name is Matt Judkins. We're going to sign off for tonight. Be sure to join us now bright and early tomorrow morning. We've got several sessions that we're going to bring you from right here at Parkway North High School. Until then, for just a while.